Alright, so in Business Catalyst, we have the Russian doll effect, whereby we can have a content container sort of within our template. So this effectively, very simply put, this allows us to load a part of the website once um, in many different places, excuse me. So maybe we want this header to be on all the pages. That's fine. We could just leave it in the template, but actually, if we're going to have lots of different templates within Business Catalyst for the same site, if we're going to have several templates, then every time we want to change the menu, we'd have to go and edit all of those templates if we wanted to change a link in that top menu, for example. So putting a content container within our templates is very useful and allows us to do what we would normally do with a WordPress template or in PHP, where we would put a PHP include, and we would basically have a header and a footer file once that we use over and over again on all of the pages. Then when we want to change the footer, we only have to go and edit one file. Okay, so actually you've already seen me muck around with the header in the first video, so let's now actually just do the footer together. So what we want to do is we want to strip out and take, oh sorry, the footer's already gone because I was mucking around. Let me just see if I, still template dark, let me republish that. See if that loads now. Right, so we want to take this footer and we're going to now create a content container using Business Catalyst. So without further ado, I'm going to grab everything from the last of my footer tag. So this is my template file that I'm looking at now, right? This is my template file. You can look over on the left here. This is in default dark. You can see that I've actually already got two other templates, so this is why this is a huge benefit. For those of you who already know, yes, this can be optimized further because we can use the menu functionality within Business Catalyst, and we're going to do that later on. This is all about taking a template. Maybe you've brought a HTML template that you now want to convert to Business Catalyst, so we're doing this in stages. If you've just joined, the first video shows how we stripped out the template and actually made it work in Business Catalyst. Very rudimentary, very fundamentally, just by using the tag page content tag. So we left everything else in the template and we just inserted this bit of code. We deleted out all of our content from the middle that just left the header and the footer that allowed us to then create and use pages within Business Catalyst. Okay, so that's what we've done so far. Go and check out the previous video if you want to see how to do that. Now what we're working on is the footer. Okay, so I'm going to grab my footer and I'm going to cut all of that out. I'm going to publish that just for now because I want to prove to you what's happening each step of the way. I'm now going to come across, sorry, let me delete that. That was me playing around earlier. So I've come to content holders on the left. I'm going to add a new content holder. We're going to call this footer. There's only going to be one, so I don't need to version it or specify something else. I'm going to paste in all of that code. So that's all of my footer that I've pasted in now to a content container, content holder. Okay, I'm going to save that. Now I'm on a page here. I'm just going to go across to modules, content holder, so to insert one of these into this page, footer, and there's my code. That's the only reason I did that. I'm not going to insert it on this page. I just want to grab this tag code because that's the tag, that's the code that I can put anywhere, on any page, on any template, on any file that's going to load that footer text that we just copied and pasted, that footer code. Anywhere that I put that tag is now going to load the footer. So let's grab that. Let's come back across to our default template and let's throw it in there. Let's give that a publish. Wait. I'm going to delete it out. I'm going to publish again. So right now, I just wanted to show you, if I refresh that page, the footer's gone. Footer's absolutely gone. All right? It should be below here. You can see that. I can't scroll down any further. The footer has disappeared. like magic. Now we're going to come in, we're going to put that code in, that tag, we're going to publish, we're going to refresh, and am I going to look like a fool, or, ta-da, there's our footer loaded in again. So now so I've proven to you, all we need is this bit of tag, this code. We can now come and replicate this for all of my different templates, right? I could now come in here for the other one. So everything from footer to footer, replace with that single line of code, publish. This third template, everywhere from the footer to the footer, delete, replace. Alright? Okay. So what we've effectively done now is stripped out a heck of a lot from the original template. If you guys remember, or if you watched the first video, the first part of this series, you're actually going to see, this page was huge, was absolutely massive. It was this full page. This was our original template. That's absolutely massive. If you expand all of these out, if you expand every single part of the section here, you're going to see that this page is massive. So now we've broken that all the way down to just this. That's now our template for Business Catalyst. Excuse me, it's absolutely minimal. So I've left, and this can change depending on how you attack this, how you approach this, based on the Russian doll metaphor that I keep using. What is going to repeat on every single page? If there is something that's going to repeat on every single page, create a container like we just did. Take it out. Maybe it's a newsletter sign up form and you've styled it some special way, because there is one that's built into Business Catalyst that you can just insert anywhere. But maybe there's a special form or a special button or a special area on the website that you want to use over and over and over again. It doesn't have to be a header or a footer or something template related. It could be this this quote here. I don't know, maybe for some reason you want this on 10 different pages, right? Rather than have to change that 10 times when you want to update it, create a content container, go and grab that little bit of code, right? Figure out what that tag was by inserting it onto a test page. Grab that code and now just go and insert that everywhere where you want that external content to load. You're loading an external file wherever you put that code. That's how this works. This is how the CSS file works. Yeah, it's doing the same thing. You're just loading an external file. All that's doing is loading an external file. It's that basic and simple. Alright, so this now is loading 3 different parts in Business Catalyst, 3 external files that we have manually created in Business Catalyst. That's going to load my header. That's going to load the content, depending on the page that you create, and that's going to load the footer. So this allows us to load in dynamic content into this template and reuse it over and over again. Now I've left sections out of these content holders on purpose, because maybe on the home page I'm going to have a super fancy gallery that loads, right? I don't want to load the script that allows that gallery to work on every single page. That's going to slow down page loads. That's a failing of things like WordPress. You're bound to and stuck to loading the same header every single time when you buy a template, unless you know what you're doing and you're going to go and create extra templates. This is forcing us into the deep end, but allowing us to customize the template to make it 100% optimized from the very start, from the very beginning. Okay. So what's fantastic here is I could load lots of different files in the header and then not on other pages. So that's great. If you look here, if we go down to my main template, you can see that there's another difference down here. It's that I'm loading audio. The home page has audio loading. You can see up here in Chrome, there's a little speaker, right? Whereas if we go to, say, the blog pages, we can see that the speaker disappears. So actually now You can see there's a huge benefit here already to what's going on. Russian doll effect, what's repeating, what isn't repeating, how to optimize and streamline that. Now we can take this one further. If we go and look at our footer content, you can see that there's a whole ton of links here now. Well, what happens now if we've got lots of different versions of footers? Maybe we've got a light footer and a dark footer. Now every time that we want to change a link, we're going to have to go and find and edit all of the different content holders for the footer that have those links in them. So why don't we now Russian doll all of those links? Why don't we now take all of those links out, put them in another content holder that's just called footer links, because they're always going to be the same for every page. But maybe I want a light background and a dark background, so the outer container is what changes. Actually, for those of you who already know, technically I'm sort of giving a bad example there, because you don't really want to put links into another container. You want to actually use the menu system that's built into Business Catalyst. This would be the best and the most optimal way, and the easiest way. Anyone could come in and change these links. So again, if you now wanted to insert this menu in the footer, you just have to go and find that tag code, and instead of content holder, you're going to write menu, insert menu number 134460. Here's the menu ID all the way up here, look. You can see this. So it's exactly the same way. Within the content holder, within the content holder here, in footer, we can just come in here and insert a menu. Site modules, menus, choose a main menu. We can even insert it as a module. There's the code for it. So now we could delete out all of the links. Russian doll metaphor coming into play big time again. Hopefully that's helpful. Feel free to hit me up with any questions. I'll be happy to answer them.